Hello guys, welcome to my English class. As the proverb goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. We all know the British are somewhat sticklers for protocol. In order to act in a proper way in UK, let's learn something about British etiquette and customs. Here are 8 basic and most important British etiquette and customs we should always bear in mind when in UK. Number 1. Visiting. It is customary to visit people at a pre-arranged time and day. As a generalization, people are not comfortable if you just drop in. Nevertheless, if someone says to drop in at any time, feel free to do so, as long as it is not in the middle of the night. When you go into someone's house, do take your hat off. It is impolite for men to wear hats indoors, especially in churches. Nowadays, it is becoming more common to see men wearing hats indoors. However, this is still seen as being impolite, especially to the older generations. Number 2. Greeting. British people will shake hands on greeting others. When you meet people for the first time, it is normal to shake hands. The usual formal greeting is "How do you do?" and a firm handshake, but with a lighter touch between men and women. In Britain, unlike some other European countries, it is unusual to embrace or kiss the other person, unless they are family or a very close friend. Avoid prolonged eye contact when you meet people for the first time, as it might make them feel uncomfortable. The British might seem a little stiff and formal at first, but after a while, they will relax as you get to know each other. In Britain, there's still some protocol to follow when introducing people in a business or more formal social situation. Introduce a younger person to an older person. That is, introduce a person of lower status to a person of higher status. When 2 people are of similar age and rank, introduce the one you know better to the other person. Number 3. Gift giving. During birthday and Christmas celebrations, it is common for the British to exchange gifts between family members and close friends. The gift need not be expensive, but it should usually show an attempt to find something that is related to the recipient's interests. When invited to someone's home, it is normal to take along a box of good chocolates, a good bottle of wine, or flowers. Note that gifts are opened when received. Number 4. Queuing. Queuing is a unique part of the British culture. British people take waiting in line or queuing incredibly seriously. They highly value patience, and enduring the wait with good humor is considered a sign of strong moral character. It is advisable to take your place in the queue and not try to muscle your way to the front, as this may annoy other people in the queue. If you are really in a desperate hurry, people will always let you through to the front if you politely ask. Number 5. Punctuality. The Brits are generally punctual, especially the Scots. The Brits consider it rude and impolite if you turn up late for an appointment. Punctuality is very important in business situations. In most cases, the people you are meeting will be on time. Call even if you will be 5 minutes later than agreed. If you have been delayed or cannot make the appointment, then make an effort to contact the person to let them know. It is a good idea to telephone and offer your apologies. Number 6, tipping. Tipping is not expected in the UK in the way it is in the United States or Canada, but is much appreciated. It is not necessary to tip at all in taxis, but it is customary to round up to the nearest pound on metered taxi journeys, more as a convenience than a tip. On an airport journey in a booked minicab, you might wish to tip 2 or 3 pounds if the driver helps with your bags. If taking a metered London taxi from Heathrow, the metered charge will be so high compared to minicabs that this really is not necessary. Some restaurants add on an optional service charge to bills of typically 10% or 12.5%. This should always be noted in the menu. If you are unhappy with the service, you can ask for it to be removed. For parties of 6 or more, the service charge is sometimes mandatory. If a service charge has been added onto your bill, you should not add any further tip. Number 7, how to behave in public places. It is impolite to stare at people in public places, and spitting in the street is considered to be very bad-mannered. Also, try not to pick your nose in a public place. If your nostrils need debugging, use a handkerchief. Most members of the British public will happily provide you with directions if you approach them politely. Make sure you are familiar with terms like roundabouts, level crossing, traffic lights, zebra crossings, bus lanes, control floor, and if using any of the motorways, traffic jams. Number 8, thank you, I'm sorry, please. In Britain, you can never say please, thank you, or sorry too often. The Brits say thank you a lot, even for minor things. To thank your host, a phone call or thank you card does nicely. If you accidentally bump into someone, say sorry. They probably will too, even if it was your fault. This is a habit and can be seen as very amusing by an outsider. Sometimes the Brits say cheers instead of thank you. You may hear cheers said instead of goodbye. What they are really saying is thanks and bye. There are no absolute rules about when to use polite terms, but you should certainly use them when shopping or addressing strangers. Above are the basic etiquette and customs in UK. All in all, on social occasions, the best option is to observe what the others do and then go with the flow. Hope you are interested. This is Jane. See you next time.